Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Flavor of the Week, brought to you by Banditos, fresh, made daily. In Flavor of the Week, Kyle sits down with one of our local priests over 4 different episodes to sample variations of a favorite food or drink while they discuss the ins and outs of life as a priest.
This is Kyle Hyman. Welcome to Flavor of the Week, Part 4 with Father Jay Horney. Thanks for being here, Father Jay.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we've been trying some fish sandwiches from some local fast food restaurants.
Right, penance on the go.
Yeah, this is brought to you by Banditos, who was gracious enough to underwrite Flavor of the Week, even though we're not always using their flavors.
But we do appreciate Banditos for that reason.
Yeah. Speaking of Lent, there's plenty of meatless options at Banditos.
Right.
Yeah.
Check them out.
Yeah. But we've tried 3 fish sandwiches so far. This is our 4th and final. You want to go ahead and tear into this?
All right, let's see what we got.
They've all been pretty good-sized sandwiches. Like not.
Packaging is nice.
Mm-hmm.
This might be the most underwhelming one, appearance-wise.
Yeah. It looks like might be the only one without any lettuce. Ooh.
There's a lot of tartar sauce.
Ton of tartar sauce and a little slab of cheese on there, too.
Little slab. Okay, let's see. Cutability.
I think all the other 3 had lettuce, though, right?
They did.
This
is a non-lettuce one.
We just got these stock. We didn't order anything special. Just it's just tartar sauce just squirting out the. Okay. Oh, let me
get your cross section.
We'll do pictures so that we can. Hopefully, you're following us on social media so you can see the pictures of these sandwiches. That is a lot of tartar sauce, though. Very soft. Everything's very.
Yeah. I mean, I like food, so I'm not a huge critic of food. But it definitely isn't the winner.
Yeah.
I think 4th place is actually going to be a tie for 3rd place.
Okay. Fair enough.
Again, fish, Lent, you get what you get.
Yeah.
So.
And you'd eat it again.
I'd eat it again.
So none of these are.
None of them are worth avoiding.
Clear. Yeah.
No, I mean, all provide nourishment.
Fair enough. Last week we talked about our identity.
Right.
Being as children of God. Mm-hmm. And that was such a good message, and I think everybody needs to go back and listen to that, and maybe listen to it again if you already heard it once. But one thing I know that you're passionate about, we talked about, is the identity for us as men and how, I guess, our role in the church, our role in the family, our role in our communities. So I'm curious what your thoughts are on that.
Yeah, and when we talk about the role and identity of men, this is not to discredit or avoid the role and identity of women. It's just that I think women are doing a really great job of being involved in the church. Mm-hmm. And I think men need to kind of get kicked in the butt a little bit to step up their game.
Yeah.
And just one example of that is like here at St. Vincent's, that came out of the Christ Renews Parish weekend. There's a really phenomenal group of men that started Rekindle the Fire.
Right.
And it's huge. I mean, They just had their last big men's conference up in South Bend. They filled the venue.
Yeah.
But from that, then there's even another smaller group that stemmed out of that, our Holy League. It's men that meet together Thursday evenings once a month to do adoration, have confession, and just to pray together. Mm-hmm. And it's good. It's been, and again, I don't like to quantify things by numbers, but of a parish of 10,000 people, you get 40, 50 guys, you're thinking, man, like, where are the rest of them? Like, I want more of them to be here. I want more to foster this role of their fatherhood, their brotherhood. Mm-hmm. And in a good contrast that started recently, Mary Jo Parish began something here with Kingdom Builders for Women.
Yeah.
That thing has gone boom. It's exploding. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like, again, you can see that people are responding to God's call. They want to do more in their lives. And the women are on fire. Mm-hmm. And we want to instill that in men. So, yeah, for men, like, that's a huge passionate thing for me because I see the need to have holy men foster holy families and the need for them to work well with their wife to raise good children. I mean, we need holy men in the church to discern vocations to the priesthood, mm-hmm. to be able to provide the sacraments. We need them to show women what kind of man they should be striving to live a life with and for. So yeah, I'm just really about trying to instill virtue from the identity of being beloved sons of God for our men and our young men especially.
Why do you think that men are slacking on that more so than women in this current climate?
There might be two different reasons. One is there are not enough men willing to step up in a way to challenge their brothers. So this is like a call to action. This is a call to action for those guys that are deeply involved to continue to encourage their sons, their brothers, their friends. This is a call to action for priests to get off their butts and get out there with the people. So there's the one aspect of just an apathy maybe. And the other one is, I think, especially for our younger men, our high schoolers, our college students, this isn't all of them.
Yeah.
It's just generically across the board. There hasn't been an emphasis or a push to grow up. Video games are a really popular thing still.
Yeah.
And video games aren't evil, but they aren't also the best if they prevent us from engaging in social interaction.
Yeah.
Now, some would argue, well, I have all these gamer friends. I'm like, okay, well, what do you know about them?
Yeah.
What conversations are you having that are striving you to grow in a virtue of courage or a virtue of magnanimity, of outpouring of goodness? How are you learning humility in those processes? So yeah, there's the one sense of just kind of guys just aren't being encouraged enough by other guys, in a sense that guys aren't growing up. So those are two big issues I kind of see that I've pondered with and prayed about, and I'm constantly thinking of how can I be an instrument of that change.
Yeah.
Being a young priest and wanting to instill manliness in others. Like, I'm not the biggest guy. I'm not the most muscular guy. I'm not probably the most like manly person around, but what I desire to do is encourage this idea that men are needed. Men, we need you so badly to be leaders, to be good followers. And the church needs you more than ever. I give different talks to the Holy League on Thursday nights. And I've also been really privileged during the fall football season to give masses for the football team at Bishop Dwenger. And in the midst of all the crisis that was going on in the church, I was getting really upset, not discouraged, but just upset about, the depravity of what holy men were supposed to be doing and what they lacked in doing. And I got up for one of the masses to the football players, and I just yelled into the microphone, "Look at me." And they all freaked out and they stared like, "What's he gonna do?" And I just said, "Look at me." And I got their attention. And I just kind of went on this tyrant of the church does not need laxadative, lazy, self-indulgent, selfish men. The church needs zealous, courageous, bold, affirming men. It needs men who will sacrifice for the good of others. It needs men who will step up when the pressure is on. And then I sat down.
Yeah.
And I was like, just ponder that.
This is the homily?
That was the homily.
Okay.
It was about a 30-second homily. It was just like, deal with that. Now go play a football game.
Yeah.
But it just got me so fired up. We're seeing so many different responses in the church and in the need. And as a whole, the church needs to be made holy again. And it's going to start with the men and women of the laity. It's going to start with those priests and the religious sisters being bold in their actions. But especially for men to say that to like take on that role of chivalry again, right? To bring back the idea of the knights of the old age, to bring back the idea of what it means to be a gentleman, right? And for our young men, we need that more than ever. We need them to be not above reproach, but we need them to be the example of virtue.
You said, I'm not necessarily the most manly.
Yeah. And that's the problem, right? Because that's an idea of like, what's my identity? Like, I'm actually pretty manly, probably.
So, well, how would you define manliness?
Right. So I think the way the world would define manliness, and that's what we have to battle is, it's those guys that are ripped with muscles, 6 feet tall, that can get any girl they want, blah, 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 blah. Well, okay, that's not true.
Yeah.
That's the lies we have to face. That's the lie I have to face. That manliness is the willingness to sacrifice, to put someone else's wants and needs above your own. The desire to want to see someone else flourish and grow, even if it doesn't mean you get any credit for it.
Yeah.
It means being able to put someone else's wants, desires, needs above your own. To not squash, hide, or push away innate desires of love and intimacy, but to put them in proper order.
Can you explain that?
Sure. So we're inundated with a culture of sex. And I'll just go get whoever I want to do whatever I want. Well, that's just super selfish and innately wrong.
Yeah.
Because we are designed for love. We're designed for intimacy. We're designed to be with other people. But intimacy doesn't equate to sex. Intimacy equates to building healthy, deep relationships. And men, I think, are challenged with the idea of opening up to others, to each other, to let in that sense of emotion. Now, Christ Renews His Parish, I think, is a great antidote to that. I think that allows men to really process through information. The St. Augustine Men's Group is a huge help to that for men who battle and struggle with pornography and masturbation.
Yeah.
To recognize the need for accountability and brotherhood. So there are things that are out there, for sure. The Holy League here at St. Vincent's is another opportunity of men to gather in community, rekindle the fire, all good things.
Yeah.
But this lie from the world that intimacy equates to sex has to be dismantled. And bringing back John Paul II's theology of the body, the beauty of the body, the need for the distinct roles of men and women.
Right.
That men have a responsibility to care for the dignity of women, as do women have the responsibility to care for the dignity of men, to build each other up in that capacity. That's what we need to go back to. And yeah, it's just something that really fires me up.
Yeah.
And it stems from the identity. It stems from the desire of youth ministry. It stems from my recognition and call to the priesthood and what I'm meant to be as far as being in the persona Christi, in the person of Christ, that Christ as a man demonstrated to us the fullness of manhood. So hopefully that is helpful to someone.
Sadly, this is coming to an end here, but I think that was a great thing to end on and a challenge to all of us as men. And really, like you said, like this isn't just for men, like for women to expect this out of men.
Right.
To demand it. Even.
For mothers to teach this to their sons, fathers to demonstrate that through their relationship with their wives.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's an all-encompassing, we need everyone to be involved.
Yeah. All right, well, this has been great. Thank you so much, Father Jay, for joining us for these 4 parts of Flavor of the Week and our 4 fish sandwiches
this is
well.
Awesome.
Do you need to give this a second try here, or are we sticking with number 3?
I'm sticking.
As the big winner.
Yeah, number 3 is the big winner.
Should we do the big reveal?
We can.
I believe number 3 was...
shockingly, it was Arby's.
Arby's.
Yeah.
Not necessarily known for their fish, but made a good...
It's that zing.
It was the sauce,
It was the sauce.
Yeah. I agree. It's delicious. All right, well, thank you so much, Father Jay, and thank you to Banditos for underwriting our Flavor of the Week.
Thank you.